If you saw any of this week's shorts about emotional intelligence, this is the full breakdown. Most people believe the smartest person in the room wins. Higher IQ, better grades, faster thinking, that's the formula for success. But here's the question. If intelligence is the advantage, why do so many brilliant people struggle financially while people with ordinary IQs build extraordinary wealth? The truth is simple. Your IQ gets you in the door. Your EQ, your emotional intelligence, determines whether you stay there. We are back again with another powerful lesson from Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Welcome to W&M Insights, where we talk about money, mindset, and growth. Daniel Goleman published Emotional Intelligence in 1995. It spent over a year on the New York Times bestseller list and has been translated into more than 40 languages. At the time, its central claim was controversial. Emotional intelligence matters more than IQ in predicting success. 3 decades later, Goleman's ideas have stood the test of time. Studies tracking thousands of people across different careers found that IQ accounts for roughly 20% of career success. The other 80% comes from emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-control, motivation, empathy, and social skill. Now connect this to your money. Most financial advice focuses on math. Save this percentage, invest in that fund, calculate this return. But financial failure is almost never a math problem. It is an emotional problem. Impulse spending, fear-based selling, ego-driven purchases, avoiding difficult conversations about money. Most people think building wealth is simply about making smarter financial decisions. But every financial decision begins with an emotion: fear, greed, envy, pride, impatience. While others treat money as a logic problem, the wealthy understand it is an emotional game. And the person who controls their emotions controls their financial future. Goleman's first component is self-awareness, the ability to recognize your emotions as they happen and understand how they influence your decisions. Here is the financial truth. Most people never connect their emotions to their money. They feel anxious, so they spend. They feel inadequate, so they upgrade. They feel bored, so they scroll and buy. The emotion comes first. The money follows. And the pattern repeats for years without ever being questioned. Self-awareness breaks that cycle. It is the moment you pause before making a purchase and ask yourself, am I buying this because I need it, or because I'm trying to escape a feeling? That single question can save you thousands of dollars over a lifetime. People with high self-awareness make better financial decisions not because they're smarter, but because they understand what is driving their decisions before they act. They recognize fear before they panic. They recognize pride before they overspend. They recognize envy before they try to impress people they don't even know. While others are controlled by emotions they never notice, you learn to name the emotion. And once you name it, you can choose differently. The second component is self-regulation, the ability to manage your emotions rather than being controlled by them. This is where wealth is either built or destroyed. The stock market drops. Do you panic and sell, or do you stay invested? Your coworker gets promoted. Do you become bitter, or do you become motivated? A salesperson creates urgency. Do you buy on impulse, or do you walk away? Goleman describes self-regulation as the ability to create a gap between the impulse and the action. Most people have no gap. They feel, then they react. They spend, then they regret. And that pattern costs more than almost any investment mistake they will ever make. Here is what the wealthy understand that most people don't. Every financial decision made in an emotional state carries risk. Fear makes you sell too early. Greed convinces you to chase opportunities you don't understand. Envy encourages you to spend money just to impress people. Shame causes you to avoid your bank statements, your debt, and the financial conversations that could change your future. The solution is not to stop feeling emotions. The solution is to stop letting emotions make your decisions. Build the gap. When an emotion rises, especially one involving money, pause. Wait 24 hours. Sometimes even 24 minutes is enough. Give yourself time to think instead of react. Because once the emotion fades, clarity begins to take its place. The impulse disappears. What remains is a decision made with intention instead of emotion. That single habit can protect your finances for the rest of your life. The next pieces of Goleman's framework are empathy and social skill. Together, they become one of the greatest income multipliers you'll ever develop. Here is something many people never realize about money. Your income is not determined only by what you know. It is also determined by how well you work with other people. You can be the most technically skilled person in the room. But if people don't trust you, don't enjoy working with you, or don't feel understood, your income will eventually reach a ceiling. Goleman found that top performers across almost every profession share one common trait. They read the room. They notice when a conversation changes. They recognize when someone feels uncomfortable. They know when to speak and when to listen. They know when to push and when to pause. This isn't manipulation. It's emotional intelligence in action. Now apply that to your career. Every promotion, every salary negotiation, every client you win, every business deal you close, every leadership opportunity, none of them depend only on technical ability. People make decisions based on trust, and trust is built through emotional intelligence. While others focus only on being right, you focus on being effective. Because effectiveness, not intelligence alone, is what gets rewarded. If these insights are hitting home, the full lesson continues every Sunday right here. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Goleman's fourth component is motivation, but not the kind that comes from external rewards. He calls it intrinsic motivation, the drive to pursue goals for their own sake, not for recognition or money. This might sound like it contradicts everything we talk about on this channel. But here's the paradox. The people who are motivated purely by money rarely build lasting wealth. They chase every new opportunity. They switch strategies too quickly. They lose patience, and eventually they burn out. The people who build real wealth are driven by something deeper. Mastery, purpose, the satisfaction of solving difficult problems. Money becomes the result, not the goal. Goleman's research found that intrinsically motivated people persist longer, recover faster from setbacks, and make better long-term decisions. Those three qualities compound over time, not just in your career, but in your finances as well. Ask yourself this question: why are you building wealth? If your answer is simply, "I want to be rich," that motivation may disappear the moment life becomes difficult. The first market crash, the first failed business, the first rejection, the first setback. But if your answer is, "I want to master something valuable, I want to build something meaningful, I want to create a better future for my family," then you'll keep moving when everyone else stops. Because purpose lasts longer than excitement, and discipline lasts longer than motivation. Here's where we land. Daniel Goleman's emotional intelligence has now been backed by decades of research. And the conclusion is remarkably clear. Your IQ may determine how quickly you learn, but your EQ determines what you do with what you've learned. It determines whether you save or spend, whether you invest or panic, whether you persist or quit. It determines how you handle pressure, how you build relationships, how you respond to failure, and ultimately, how much value you create in the world. Most people spend years trying to become smarter. Very few spend time becoming more emotionally intelligent. That's why so many intelligent people struggle, while others with average intelligence quietly build extraordinary lives. Because success isn't just about what you know. It's about how well you manage yourself. The truth is simple. The smartest person in the room doesn't always win. The person who understands themselves usually does. If you found this valuable, subscribe to W&M Insights and continue growing with us. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.